Hey, it's Mike from Junkie on Crafts and Builds, and in this impressions video, we're going to look at the G.I. Joe Classified series, NightForce, Jason, Shockwave, Faria, and the Night Pursuit Cycle. Now, I was able to pick this figure up at Walmart.com when it was on sale, not for the original price of $54, but for the price of $38, I believe. So I originally wasn't going to get this one. I felt it was overpriced for what you were going to get. But for $38, I made the exception, and I'm happy I did, because now that I have it in front of me here, it really looks pretty good. So looking at the packaging, it's kind of what we've been seeing now with this new wave of Joes, which I call the Doc Wave. Has Jinx and Torch and everything in. So again, we get this nice open window package showing the figure, all of his accessories, including the Night Pursuit Cycle. Not much else to say. It's good. We like seeing everything. On this side, we obviously have all his stats and the QR code that does nothing. And on the other side, we have this really nice image of Shockwave here, holding his Mac and his belt or his vest and everything. And finally, moving to the back again, we get the tech specs. We say who he is. And we have this really nice digital render of the figure and cycle with holding some of his weapons. And we got some of the details along the side here. So not only will we talk about Shockwave in his NightForce version here, but we're also going to do another twofer and talk about the first version of Shockwave as well, since I never really did a impressions of this figure, and there are some changes between the two, so we'll discuss that in the video. But right now, let's get NightForce Shockwave out. And here's Jason and the Night Pursuit Cycle out of the packaging. And I'm going to say it again with my little mini rant that I did with the Ghost Rider. The new vac packaging that wraps everything around the figure and the accessories. We went from bags where everything was kind of floating around and getting warped to now everything is just so close to the figure and accessories that you feel like you're going to bend everything just trying to get the stuff out. So if you're not caring about the packaging and anything like that, just take some scissors and cut the plastic to get your stuff out instead of pushing them through. It'll save you a lot of headache. It'll save you frustration. It'll save you the possibility of bending these gummy weapons. And then who are you going to yell at besides yourself? Anyway, looking at Jason here again, this is the second time we've received him in the Classified series line, because the first one here was in his more vintage color scheme. This is the second version, which is his NightForce, and I will admit this version looks really good. The color scheme with like the green and black with this really dark gray camouflage really sets him off. I really like this a lot, actually. Like I said, we have really cool tampos here. NightForce, this NightForce related tampo. It's the same one we kind of saw with Big Ben. There are some changes to this body compared to the first one, and we'll go through that very quickly. But really, right now, it's just looking at this guy. It's the same vest he had from the version 1, same ball cap, same face. Overall, I mean, like I said, there are some changes in the arms, different legs, pretty much, and from the kneecaps down. Yeah, overall, not too bad, to say the least. Now, the Night Pursuit Cycle, we've seen this mold before, twice even, with Breaker and the original Ram, and then with Duke with the Tiger Force. But this deco really is nice. The tampos are really cool. Nothing says Covert Special Task Force other than a sidecar that really has it tampoed on. But again, the brown here for the seat, we've seen it before, in regards to the colorization with this. Nice gold trim here, accents. This dark copper for the brake pads. On the fork, I'm learning, guys. I'm learning vehicle stuff. And as you can tell, this is why people are pissed off about the ferret. And with the Ghost Rider cycle, the fork has a column up to the handlebars, so it can turn. Why can't we do it with all the other vehicles and motorcycles? Because this is an older design. That's why they're not putting the effort into keeping it going here. Anyway, moving on. Tires are nice. We have some nice deco up here with some dials and displays underneath the handlebars, as well as the speedometer and everything else here. Got those gas cap. Overall, again, this is like the nicest version of it between the three. In my opinion, I like this gray and black accents a lot more. You know, nothing beats a vintage Ram in green. The Tiger Force I can take and leave, but this one looks really nice. So for Shockwave's accessories, we're going to actually start over here with the bike. Obviously, it's the bike itself, but we also have, of course, the Gatling minigun that goes into the sidecar. And we've seen this with the other Rams and with vintage Roadblock. Barrels rotate. They are blast effect compatible. Looks really good. You have to take the ammo drum out to get it inside here. So we just crack open the side. And this is something else that I've noticed and other people have been talking about. The wheel just kind of freaking falls off this time. It just put the gun into the indentations here. Put the other side back on. Give it a little squeeze, and there we go. Now your Ram cycle is armed and dangerous for your covert special task force. And this goes into a bin. So, with Shockwave himself, and we'll start with his knives, which will be the same ones we got from the first version. So you have this long one here with this hook on the end to help break into doors and car windows. I don't know, but that'll go on the side here. Slides in pretty easy. We got this gray, or this like gunmetal for the blade and a black handle. That slides in like so. And then we have this larger combat knife here. Again, also like a silver and black. Paint's a little slapped on here. We got some bubbles and whatnot on the blade this time, but it slides right here into the chest area. He comes with a pistol. Simple black pistol. I think we've seen it before. Blast effect compatible. Goes into his drop leg holster. Like so, nice and tight. Let's see, what else? So, new things. He gets a backpack this time. And we've seen this backpack before. This is the Firefly version 2 with the control panel storage inside, because he also comes with the little mini drone. Mini drone hooks into the back here, like so. You can fold it up and down on those legs. And it fits nice and snugly into his back. So he can carry that around with him. Weapons. He comes with a lot of weapons to carry. Not enough storage for it. But we've got this, little Mac 10, Mac 11 style minigun here. Or not minigun, but, it's a small gun. Comes with a suppressor with blast effect compatibility, and it is also removable. So, very nice. That in place. Next two weapons we've seen with Big Ben as well. We've got this MG style here with the removable ammo box. Slides right into place. Bullets are painted here in this nice gold. Got a little bit of overspray there, but that slides right off. It's probably just chipping. It's not as gummy in the center here, but right back here for the stock. And of course the barrel. This is why I was saying the vac plastic that holds these things in place. Be careful or else you're going to bend your own crap. And we already know from Big Ben, when you get this onto the figure and have it grip, this is going to bend anyway. But this is the nicer weapon of the larger ones he comes with. And of course it has the bipod legs if I can get them down. There's one. There's two. Okay. Final weapon is this double-barreled AR. And while I thought this was a make-believe weapon, it is actually based off a Ebola snake doubled AR. I think it's kind of silly looking, but it does have removable double magazine here, and this useless little grip. We already know that his cover is removable as well, which helps for the final accessory, because as he's riding his motorcycle, he's thinking about safety. We get another steel core helmet. Yay! I think we saw this with Clutch, just not in the green color scheme with all the other like teeth and whatnot. This is simply a black and dark gray helmet with a red visor, all the tech stuff on it. We got I guess that could be a targeting reticle on there. We got vents on the visor for some reason. It's whatever, but it's it's fairly large, and it can sit quite easily onto Shockwave's head, and it kind of sits in line with the padded collar of his vest. So there he is. So I want to go ahead and get both versions of Shockwave out here for you and kind of discuss the changes from the original release to this new current release. And while I feel this release is the preferred one, I think, for most collectors, unless you're fully into that nostalgia bite, he's a better built figure than this guy. So the differences are kind of obvious in regards to the deco changes and most of the accessories, but we'll go through them just for SNGs. So looking at the original here, as you can tell, he comes with a shield. Now this shield's kind of odd in the fact that it only works on one side here, so that leaves him to be more of a left-handed focused figure, but again, he can dual wield as well. Issue with a lot of people holding this shield are the potential stress marks you can get on the clip side trying to get it over his forearm guard here. But the shield itself is really nicely done. It's a decent enough sculpt with this dull yellow for the lights, and then these tampoed Cobra strikeouts. Don't know what that means, but the sculpt rolls around in here, and we can see that the cable that goes to the lights wraps around to a sculpted battery pack of sorts. The weapons that it comes with are these modified style little like again MAC-10 semi-automatics or fully automatic miniguns. He has two of them that go in both of these drop leg holsters, so he's just a little more protected in this version in regards to, like I said, the forearm guards here. We have hardened kneecap protectors, and then these big shin guards that are affixed to his boots here. Challenges I have with this guy, besides the weapons being super gummy, I mean, this thing right here is just, it's so crappy. And this does have a removable magazine, which this thing is, I don't know why. It's probably the easiest thing I bet you'll lose. We've got the same knives that we saw with this NightForce version, except they're all in black. So there's the upper blade. Here's the bottom one. He also comes with the PR-24 police baton. Not really used anymore, but for the time that this figure came out, it's not bad. It's actually the second. Well, it's still gummy, but it's a little stronger than these little miniguns and the knives. Yeah, and again, the cover is removable, so you get that nice sculpt. The other thing is the skin or flesh tone on the body is really not well done, especially here on the hands. Again, this is molded black plastic for the gloves, and you can see they just did like the outer edge of his fingers. The inside isn't even painted as well, so that means when you start putting these weapons, sliding them in and out, it's going to start rubbing the paint. It's it's not well done, not well done at all. The tampo on the body with the digital camo looks really good. The vest is cool. We got some shells for a weapon he doesn't have, but it is what it is. So starting with the head, he can look up barely because of the sculpt, down, barely. You can look side to side. Let's check out this ball peg. So again, just like the first version, he's got a ball peg system in here, but there's absolutely zero space for him to move around at all. Straight at you, turning side to side a little bit, but that's about it. Shoulders, if you have scrap iron, you know you can get above T-pose here. You got a 360 bicep rotation, and as I was showing earlier, double jointed elbows, which are very smooth. I'm very happy with those. The wrist swivel, this hand has a vertical hinge that really you can't use that much because of the sculpt of the cuff here. And on this side we have a horizontal hinge so he can bend that in. Waist or chest articulation, because of the vest you can only get that far and then that far back. I want to say he has a dumbbell torso, but we have waist rotation as well. A little bit of teapot, not a lot. You know, we already got the drop downs. He can reach, he can kick his leg up that far, back that far. Thigh rotation. Very tight double jointed knees that can't kick his own tail, but it's close. We have a boot cut, and then we got a click down and a click up, and then the pivot. So standard fare for what you're going to get. And if we're curious to see how the articulation goes for the original Shockwave, head's the same, neck's up higher than on the NightForce, so you might get a little more down. Get a little bit of a teapot here as well, and again the grooves or the sculpt on the neck go along with the balaclava. Not quite as high, but you still get a nice T-pose. We got the rotation, we got this, you know, all the same accoutrements that we're used to seeing. This hand has a horizontal hinge in, and this hand has the vertical hinge, similar to the NightForce. We got the same articulation for the body. This one shows a U cut or an ab crunch here, U shape. Still doesn't help you a lot because of the vest. And then we still got the waist rotation, arm, legs up, thigh, pinned, double jointed, kick back a little further. Got a boot cut here, and with this, all this gear on, you can get a knee or an ankle down, one ankle up, and pivot. So close to the same articulation, just you can tell with the older parts, the articulation is just slightly different, and his boots on the NightForce are a much more stable pair of feet compared to the vintage one here. Final impressions of Jason Shockwave Faria in both his version 1 and the new NightForce release with Night Pursuit Cycle. Again, it's kind of a tale of two figures in regards to the engineering and choices between the Wave and the improvements that can be done to a figure based on the extensive library the Hasbro Joe team have now for their characters. I do remember fondly the vintage Shockwave, and the bright blue colors really kind of made him stand out amongst the crowd, and also gave him a good mix between being a military focused character, but also you could use him in an urban environment. For version 1, has some good points. Again, the tempo for the urban camo is really nice. I think the overall aesthetic of Shockwave is nicely done, but it gets down into the details. as he falls because of, again, his short legs, of engineering and paint. It just, parts of them seem a little cheap feeling. The PVC is very kind of loose on him. Again, the paint job for the flesh is, in my opinion, horrible, especially in the hands. I'd really love to just change these out, which I probably will later on. So he does, again, he's there for nostalgia purposes, but engineering wise and just with like the weapons and whatnot, not really feeling it with him at all. Now this new version, the NightForce version, I think is a definite improvement because they swapped out parts on between his arms, his legs. A lot of stuff really helps bring this character to life, and the colors of the NightForce version is really cool. I do like the gray urban camouflage deco on this guy, and it's a smart reuse of the RAM cycle and really nicely decoed vehicle here that has a feature that we desperately like to have. It definitely helps with figuring out different poses or just, you know, functioning motorcycle. Nice to have. Accessory wise, I feel the NightForce version of Shockwave comes with a lot more of a useful assortment of weapons, even though the quality of the weapons, again with the gumminess, is in question. I think the assortment that he has fills out that role of like the covert strike team and his position as a tactical, I want to call it tactical analyst, tactical specialist for the NightForce team. I really think that it really works out. Plus with the alternate helmet here, you could definitely get multiple versions of this guy and just army build. As we start fleshing out more and more characters for the NightForce group, I really do like this sub-team. I think it's a really cool mix. I like the cohesiveness of the deco across all these figures here. I really think that this is the premier team. And at the time of this recording, we found out that there's going to be a new 2-pack with a new Lieutenant Falcon with a new face sculpt, thank God, and Quarrel, which is a homage to the Palatoy version. That's all I got for this video right now about Shockwave. Have you picked up the NightForce version? Are you content with just the original OG blue Shockwave? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video and my other content, please give me a like, share this out to your friends, and if I've earned your subscription, I am humbled by that, and thank you very much, and thank you again everyone. Bye.